For more on the story, we now cross via Skype to one of the organizers, Ismail Mullah. He's in contact with the South Africans on board, and among them is a UKZN academic, theologian and activist, Reverend Dr. Clint Lebrain. Now, a very good evening to you, Mr. Mullah. Has the vessel arrived in the Israeli port?
Thank you very much for having me on this evening. Just a matter of correction, we have our delegate Clint Lebrain not on the Marianne. There is no South African that is on the Marianne. Clint at the moment is in a boat, but he is at a secret location awaiting further instructions. In regard to your earlier question, we are still awaiting news in terms of whether the Marianne has arrived at the port of Ashdod. We are understanding that depending on weather conditions, maybe in another hour to 2 hours time maximum, they will be arriving.
Have you
the reality is that when the boat is boarded, all our communications are seized. The delegates, their cell phones will be taken away from them, their laptops will be taken away from them. So from that moment, we have no contact with any of our members. We wait for news from Israel that will then alert us to what is their status.
When are you hopeful that this information will filter through to you, since you're not really in contact with anyone on board?
Remember, we are doing this now. This is our third attempt to break the siege of Gaza, so we are very familiar with how these matters operate. We are expecting that in about 2 hours' time, when the boat comes to Ashdod, some of, or maybe the Israeli IDF decides to take them to a jail, and there could be a possibility that they spend 2 or 3 days under interrogation. We are hopeful that in view of the high-profile people that we have on this particular boat, that they will be deported immediately.
Just talk us through some of those high-profile people that you have on the boat, and are you still confident then that this mission will go ahead, considering you've been blocked before?
Well, you know, we were hoping that in view of the immense publicity that we've had across the world, represented on the boats this time were almost over 25 countries, people from 25 countries. So we were hopeful that, you know, the Israeli government would relent and allow this peaceful activity or action against the blockade to proceed. On the boat, we have a member of the Knesset, Dr. Basil Gakas. We have the ex-Prime Minister of Tunisia, Dr. Marzouki. We also have Robert Lovelace, the former chief of the Algorian First Nation. So these are serious people that are on there, and all coming from very peaceful background. Obviously, the presence of Dr. Basil Gatas, being a member of the Knesset, has created a huge public outcry in Israel, which is only good for our cause. Part of it is not only to deliver the humanitarian aid, but part of it is also to conscientize the world in terms of the dehumanizing blockade and the lack of or access to basic human needs in Gaza.
That's where we'll have to leave it. That was Ismail Mullah, and he's in contact with people on board that flotilla vessel that's been blocked by the Israeli government.